1/2 pounds. He is undefeated as a professional. 17 wins, 14 knockouts. From Ann Arbor, Michigan, I give you James Lights Out Toney.
Well, if Horacio Brandan has a mean streak in him, it's just gotten meaner. Because James Toney on his introduction pointed right at Brandan, and I don't suspect the visitor from Argentina enjoyed it. It is said that Brandan has a huge punch. Like a lot of Latin fighters, he will telegraph his shots, but if it gets there, it's got something on it. Toney will have to watch out for it. Toney, on the other hand, has a big left hook and left uppercut, and that is what Mr. Brandan must watch for, as this one is scheduled for 6, a pair of middleweights, in what might be the most evenly matched fight on tonight's card.
Well, the speed could be the whole story of the thing, Jim, and that man, it's believed, James Toney, has the hand speed to keep Brandan off rhythm, not let him get anything established, get a rhythm started in the fight. If that's the case, James Toney can carry it. Some people feel that Toney has a habit of fighting to the competition rather than at his best on call. I'm not sure I've particularly noticed that, but I haven't seen all his bouts. He is quick. He's got a flicking jab that does have some power and a great straight right hand. When he gets it launched, it can hurt you in a hurry. Now that wasn't flush or hard particularly, but down the center does look open. The left side of Brandan is down a little bit defensively.
Brandan does look like he's asking for trouble, holding that left hand down by the hips.
That's where Toney's working his left as well, but he's got a little bit quicker hands. I guess in that sense, it's not as risky.
Here's the right hand. Toney tried to unload it as a lead punch, countering over the left. Didn't get there. Well, there wasn't much there for Brandan as he threw 3 shots. And supposedly he had a big shot, but nothing was on those first 3.
Looked like the right was open. Toney passed it up.
Looks like Brandan wants to counter, too.
Big right. Best shot of the bout. Not huge, but the best shot so far from Toney. The right hand along the ropes. Good body shot. Got under the elbow. Kind of a stationary fight so far.
I think both fighters trying to feel each other out a little bit. A little bit more than a minute left to go, round 1.
That's tricky.
Couple of left. Brandan caught the first one on the glove, the next one on his elbow. Toney now trying to open it up a little bit offensively. Big right hand caught Brandan against the ropes.
He gives a little stutter step. You can tell when guys get their confidence, when they really feel like they hit a boy, can come out there and do a little dance.
Well, from what I've seen so far, I'm not so sure I buy the word that Brandan has a huge punch, unless he's hiding it somewhere.
Why not? Terrible.
Just the way he looks. He throws with his shoulder. He doesn't really get his legs into it. Right hand over the shoulder caught Toney on the ear, no problem. Coming to the end of round 1, we will stay right here. Very little action indeed in round 1, although James Toney, if there was anybody that you could call a winner, Chris, and you're keeping score, it might be Toney, only because he landed a couple of decent shots. The right hand, about a minute into the round, that may have been the best punch of the fight.
Closed okay. Was decent in the middle minute. Got a good right. The best shot of the round was his, and he came in with a couple more later. He carried it by a narrow margin. Interesting signal from the corner. A lot of fighters hear from their seconds over there, you know, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. That went off the shoulder, but he did drive him into the ropes, and I think we're going to see one good right hand that came in the early part of the round. Well, that wasn't the one we were talking about specifically.
Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece.
Going back to the signal, Jim, when we saw a second of James Toney over there, he about broke the corner of the ring, pounding on it. They do it from an audio standpoint, that signal for 15 seconds to the end of the round.
Toney, no question, the quicker of the two with better hand speed. Comes out, opens with 2 left jabs. Brandan's tough to hit against the ropes. Moves his head, moves his upper body, covers up pretty well with his arms, and it looks as though he doesn't mind fighting with his back to the ropes.
Well, he has a chance to come out of there right now if he wants. He's staying right there. Toney will let him out, it looks like. There he spins it around.
Like if Brandan had his druthers, he might stay inside or stay with his back against the ropes and try to counter anything Toney throws.
Toney spinning himself around with that missed hook, does it again. He's leaving himself open for a right if Brandan can get it free. Kind of fighting almost sideways.
Brandan against the ropes, fights back off, but stays there. Big right hand by Toney. Brandan answers with a left hook. I don't think there's much punch there from Brandan. And it's still early. Good right hand there. And Brandan's hurt. Toney's got him hurt on the ropes. Dale Grable steps in, and he will give him a standing 8. It was the ropes that held Brandan up. He is at 6, and this is over. Brandan does not know where he is. Dale Grable stops the fight as Horacio Brandan is TKO'd by James Toney here in the 2nd round, and it didn't look like he was in trouble at all, but one big shot got through, and Horacio Brandan did not have the answer.
He had been accumulating blows in the far corner and got him trapped on the rope for a couple of good sequences that softened him up, and maybe he was at that point ready to go. And then when they switched sides of the ring, good 45 seconds later, Jim, one big shot finished it off, and James Toney finished well in this one to run his record to 18-0 with 15 knockouts. And it was scheduled to be a 6-round fight. Interestingly enough, you know, he came in at 17-0. He's now 18-0 and willing to